Hi, this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. We're here today with the topic of butterfly syndrome. Do you know what it is? Do you suffer from it? And did you know it's highly contagious? I would see my friends who do business doing different things. They would be all in one business, and then all of a sudden, I would see them off doing something different. I would see them off doing an entirely different business. And then I would see them again, and I would see them off doing an entirely different thing again. That's where I actually coined the title butterfly syndrome. I I would see them flitting around. I would see me flitting around, doing everything but what I needed to do to grow my business. And it's very contagious. If I call you and say, "Oh my goodness, you got to come with me to this new thing, do this new thing," we are definitely guilty of being worried about missing out on things. It's like we are so afraid we're going to miss out on something that we try to do everything. And I'm here to tell you, if you do that, if you're guilty of that, there is hope for you. There is hope for relieving yourself of butterfly syndrome. Now, butterfly syndrome is something that can come back, it can reoccur if you allow yourself to get caught up in other things. Now, when I talk about this, I want to make it very clear. I'm not talking about you should never do anything except the one thing for your business. That's not what I mean either. Butterfly syndrome is where everything sounds good and we do everything. Instead of finishing anything, we've got 100 projects open, none of them finishable because we will not sit still long enough to get them done. I don't know about you, but I love doing stuff with other people. And when I see someone having a good time, I am super tempted. I just want to go and have a good time with them. And sometimes I will choose to do something that is not congruent with who I am or not congruent with my business. And that's the problem right there. Is it needs to be congruent with what you need to be doing. Now, does that mean that we can't have fun days or we can't have, vacations or anything like that? Absolutely not. We can have great times. We remember we're building sexy lives, but it's the it's the flitting. It's the flitting from one thing to another. It's from going from this project to another project and then flitting to a new project. And then you just keep adding things that are never actually going to be completed. It's very difficult to watch knowing the outcome of butterfly syndrome. It's very difficult to watch my friends go through it. And I'm sure it's very difficult for them to watch when I am stricken with the case of it. But the important part is that we help each other, and we hold each other accountable. When I start to get butterfly syndrome, I set up certain things in my life to help me, you know, be cured of it, I'll call it, to help me not be flitting around. Remind myself, reward myself with some fun time if that's what I need to do. If it's, a lack of hanging out with people, sometimes I get my head down doing a project and I forget about that part. So we have to watch ourselves to keep ourselves from falling prey to butterfly syndrome and to creating that for someone else because it is very contagious. I want to challenge you with those areas in your life that gnaw at you. You know you should be done with them and you're not done with them. Those areas where you've said yes to something, now you have to finish it because you gave your word, but to your middle you shouldn't have been doing it. Help yourself by creating a firewall. help yourself by creating a space between a yes or a no and whoever is asking you. Maybe tell them you have to check your calendar. Give yourself 24 hours to decide if you're going to go do something. Those are kind of little tricks that can keep you out of trouble. It can keep you from flitting, because what happens sometimes is, you're in the middle of doing something that's not pleasant, or you're not your favorite, and someone calls and says, "Hey, you want to meet for coffee?" Absolutely. All I really want to do is get completely away from whatever it is I'm doing, because I'm tired of doing it. Where if I'll go ahead and finish it, then I won't take it and carry it around with me. Because that's what we do, is we carry this black cloud, over our heads of, well, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. When a lot of times, if we would just stop and get it done, it would free us up to have a lot more fun doing other things. Now, butterfly syndrome is, something that we're all capable of having any day, anytime. It's something that is not gender specific. It is not, whether we have a job or whether we have a business. It is something very common between all of us. But I want to challenge you. If you see me flitting around and not doing what I'm supposed to do, I welcome you to call me on it, because I really do want to accomplish my goals. I really do want to help you create a sexy business for a sexy life. And that requires me not flitting around doing the wrong things. This is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. We are definitely here to help you create a sexy business for a sexy life. Our next topic is stacking versus multitasking. You won't want to miss that episode on our My Sexy Business podcast.